The last time I made a video about my 2023 Maverick Lariat Hybrid was back in February when I had an issue. I took the truck to the dealer. They did two recalls. One was for the PCM software update, and the other one was for the turn signal issue that was out there. A week and a half later, the truck quit. Yes, and I talked about that in the video, all the alerts that came up, front end collision, etc., not working, etc. So I took it to the dealer the next day. They said, what we're doing is resetting the code. We've had a handful this week since they came in for the recall, and some of them have had quite a few miles on since then and no issue. So if you do have an issue, come right back. Fast forward to April 10th, 2024. Just this month. April 10th was my 1-year anniversary, and at that point I had 21,004 miles on the truck. April 8th, 2 days prior, I drove the truck from mid-Missouri down to the Boot Heel, the southeast corner of Missouri, for the eclipse. Got some great pictures too. Yeah, it was worth the trip. Now that 3-hour trip, 3.25 hour, turned over more than almost 5 hours going down because the traffic from St. Louis down all the way down 55, heading down to the bottom of the state, was bumper to bumper. So heading back, maps after about half an hour on I-55, where it's starting to back up again, directed me to save some time, 15 minutes, and go by way of the highways that run through the Ozarks, winding and curving, and finally until I hit some U.S. highways, U.S. 63. Well, that delay still made a 3.25 hour trip a 5-hour trip. So that tells you how bad the delay was going back to St. Louis anyway, before coming west to mid-Missouri. Now, through the Mark Twain National Forest, winding roads, sometimes 40, 45 miles an hour, very few homes along and through there, and my truck quit. Yes, it died, just quit. And in the 10 minutes where I tried to get it started again, maybe 2 vehicles passed, and I had my 4-ways on. Nobody stopped. So I tried starting it, wouldn't start. I did it 3 times in 10 minutes, gave a little wait, and finally it started. Drove home the rest of the way, no issues, normal speeds, etc. And even once I got onto US 63, I was able to do 65. So yeah. I went to the dealer the next day and said, I'm leaving tomorrow, April 10th, the anniversary of my truck. I'm leaving to drive to Casper, Wyoming. It's a 2,000 mile round trip. I want to know I can make it. And they said, oh, Ford has a software update to correct that whole issue. Now, if Ford has that update, why wasn't it made public? Why don't they just do it for people that have already been in and say, hey, come on in and do this, instead of getting stuck in the middle of nowhere? Well, anyway, so within 2 hours, they had to fit me in. I went home, called me back in an hour and a half. So within 2 hours, they had it done. And I drove to Casper the next day, and we were fine. No issues. No issues. Had decent weather. The last trip to Casper was in August, and I pulled a U-Haul 5x8 closed trailer. And this time, I pulled a 4x8 lower, narrower profile. So I thought I might get some better mileage. I might have gotten maybe a half a gallon, half a mile per gallon better. But of course, that's August, heat, and here this was like mid 60s for this. And it's just like last time, driving from Casper down to about North Platte, dropping from 5,000 to less than 2,000 or 3,000 elevation. I actually got better mileage. A lot of it was downhill, so there you go, even though we were going up and down. So I got close to 24 and a half, close to 25 miles a gallon there, that leg. Then over to Lincoln, worse, less than 22, all flat pretty much. And then Lincoln to Kansas City, and then to Jefferson City. Actually, the mileage came back up again, closer to 24. So overall, I think I averaged about 24 miles a gallon, 23 and a half. I have to do the math, but pretty close to what I did last year with a slightly bigger trailer. So 1-year anniversary. You know, I don't think I have anything to report. I've been very happy with the truck. I am currently at 23,000 and change. So 22,000 in 1 year is really high for me, but I've been doing a lot of driving lately, and I'm glad that I've got this truck that gives me good mileage. I average around town and going to nearby towns, I average about 38. I never really make 40 because where we are is hilly, up and down, and yeah, it's hard to get a good stretch where you're getting any decent flat mileage where it can kick into electric. Coasting down a hill it will, but yeah. So yeah, that's my 1-year anniversary update, and hopefully my truck doesn't break down again. Ciao.